Okay.
So can you please explain what is PetitPotam and its role in NTLM relay attacks?
Yeah. So PetitPotam is a security vulnerability in Windows systems. So that leverages your MS EFS RPC protocol, which is encrypting file system protocol. So as you can see, it is discovered by a security researcher, which is Lionel Gills, and it enables attackers to force Windows authentication to authenticate to an attacker controlled system via NTLM. So it is similar to printer bug that was released. That's abuse. It is in wild for many years. So it is kind of printer bug. So but today the PetitPotam bug, the PetitPotam vulnerability will be exploiting the EFS RPC protocol.
Can you please explain about what is printer bug?
Okay. So basically, there is a service that is running on your systems, which is called print spooler service. Okay. And as an attacker, we can ask that service to connect to a printer. Okay. And we will position ourselves as a fake printer. And when the service wants to access our printer, at that time we can ask them for the authentication. Yeah. So that the authentication we can take and then we can relay it. So that's your printer bug. So it is similar. But PetitPotam uses EFS RPC protocol. Okay. So we will see how PetitPotam attack works. Okay. So the first thing in our attack is that the attacker sends a specially crafted RPC request to the target server. So the request will exploit certain EFS RPC functions, so which are your EFS RPC open file raw function or your EFS RPC open file service function. Okay. So what will happen? Basically, we will send a RPC request to this EFS RPC protocol, and we will call these functions. And to this function, we will tell that, hey, I have some data to encrypt. Basically, this EFS RPC is this protocol is used for encrypting a file on a remote server. Basically, for performing encryption operation on a file on a remote server. So, as an attacker, we can ask that protocol to these specific functions that, hey, I have some data. Can you encrypt it? Or do some encryption operations. And when the function or when this protocol tries to access our data that is in our control, at that time we can ask the system for their authentication. And then we can take their NTLM authentication, and then we will relay that authentication request to the different authentication services. So today in our case we are going to be sending it to the HTTP enrollment services of ADCS.
So can you please explain why ADCS is considered a high value target?
Why this is a high value target? Because if there is a misconfiguration in ADCS, we can request certificates for very high value targets. We can ask certificates for domain admins, we can ask certificates for domain controllers, and once we have certificate, it means that we have basically we have the credential of these objects.
Basically we have compromised the
so that's why these ADCS attacks are very prevalent. And one more thing about these ADCS attacks, just before we go further. So one important thing that these ADCS attacks are very new kind of attacks. They are not prevalent, so many security researchers don't know about these attacks. So we will see how this attack works, and then we can talk about it later.